to understand what is the meaning of this word. Okay, so what do you think? What is the meaning? Emotional intelligence. What do you think?
So, emotional intelligence, how to control your emotional things when you talk to someone, especially at the work, especially with others. So keep the how to control it. For example, if you are angry, so don't show the other part. Who you show that you are in that feeling.
Okay.
Just keep talking.
Okay. What about you? You know about this?
It's like
Same things?
yeah,
Okay. Shinat, same things?
Yeah, kind of emotions, kind of behaving like humans.
Okay.
Like suppose if we ask anything, it should ask something to us. Like kind of human behavior.
Okay. Intelligent response or intelligent reply.
Intelligent reply, response, everything.
Okay, good. What about conflict resolution? I think this is easy. Conflict resolution, anything which is coming in as against you, against your thinking, against your belief, this is the conflict. How to resolve that? That is the conflict resolution. Okay. That's first thing. We'll try to understand emotional intelligence and its workplace importance. Why it is very important. Okay. Now, before I go to the detail of the definition, emotional intelligence is intelligent behavior when you are observing your emotions. Okay. Meaning, everybody has emotions: sad, happy, angry, like this. But how intelligent are you to manage it? Okay, so it's not possible that I will ask or you will ask someone, please don't be sad, and he will not be sad. No, that's not the way it works. Okay, you're happy, don't be happy. No, he will be happy. Okay, so there is nothing like you can control. No, first thing, you cannot control the emotions. The only thing that you can do is manage. Okay, now what do you manage? If you are very happy, you try to be calm. If you're very angry, you try to be calm. If you're very sad, you try to be calm. So the idea is actually you have to come in the middle at the zero. Okay, or maybe 1 or 3, 1 or minus 1. Okay, that's acceptable, but not should be 50, 60, or going down minus 50, minus 60. No. If you're very angry, very happy, you're on high emotions, right? When you're down, you're on low emotions, right? So the idea of intelligence is to manage your emotions intelligently, especially as per our topic in work. Okay, this is very important. Now we will see techniques to manage. We'll try to develop a skill to conflict resolution. Okay, because conflict is always there from the first 2 brothers till today. Sah? Who were the first 2 brothers? Who were the first 2 brothers? You don't know? Who were the first 2 brothers? Habil and Qabil?
Qabil. Yeah.
Sah?
Yeah, right.
Habil wa Qabil.
Yeah.
2 brothers.
Yeah.
The conflict started. Sah?
Yeah.
2 people in one place, there is conflict.
Right.
Okay. Now build collaboration with the team. Okay.
So should I begin the link? Yeah.
You have something?
Abdullah is asking about it.
Okay. So the main idea is emotions. It is not possible to remove emotions. No, that's not possible. It's only possible in robot, not in human. Second, conflict. Can we remove conflict? No, conflict cannot be removed. It will be always there. As long as there are 2 thinking intelligent or a human being or anything which is having some sort of intelligence is there will be a conflict. So the main idea is to how to manage it, okay, how to resolve it. Okay. So that is what our session today. Okay? So first we'll understand what is emotional intelligence. It is recognizing and managing emotions effectively. Okay, you have to recognize, that is first step. I'm happy, I have to recognize I'm happy. If I'm sad, I have to recognize I'm sad. If I'm angry, I have to recognize I'm angry. It doesn't have to be that, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. No, that's not emotional, or that is not an intelligent behavior. No, intelligent behavior is he or she understands where I am. Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I happy? Whatever the situation. Okay. Most importantly, understanding the same behavior of others. Okay, that is what we have to see. Because if you are alone, you can manage. There is nobody to have a conflict. There is nobody to have anything affecting your emotions. Maybe your own thinking, that's a different thing. But there is no conflict. And there is no exposure of emotions which is affecting others. No. You are alone, you can manage. But if there are two people, it means you have to have the understanding of the second person or the other person that you are in that space. This space can be your home, can be your office, can be even a mall when you're outside. So no, there are people, human beings everywhere. So it means there will be some sort of emotion, there will be some sort of conflict. Okay? Now, using emotional awareness to guide thinking and actions. That is what we have to do. Step number one, to recognize where I am. If I am very sad, I have to calm down. Why? The reason is, this behavior is affecting my thinking and it started to affect my work. So, that's why. In marketing, there is a rule. If you are very angry, never reply to any email. Never. Take your time. Reply next day, not the same day. Because you know the reason. You are in that zone, nothing good will come out of your keyboards. So, the emotion, recognizing, and then you have to balance it out. Okay? Now, other than the feeling, what creates the feeling? How you create a feeling? Inside you, how it is created? Yeah, created. How it is created in you? If you are happy, why? Yeah, how you feel? How this feeling starts? How the sad starts? How the happy starts? Good. This is one part. Moment. Okay. Then your reaction to that moment. Something very good happens, something very good you see outside, for example, a very beautiful scenery. This is something that you are seeing. That is called perspective. Perspective is something that I know and I match with it with my memory, and I say yes, this is my decision that yes, this is good, this is not good, this is very bad. So your feelings start with the moment, where are you, where you are, and then what is your reaction to it. Okay? So how we can understand the perspective of others? It's a big question. How to understand the perspective of others? For example, there is employee who's working with you temporarily, there is an employee working with you permanently. There's an employee from some other department you are required to work with. So it can be anything, any situation of the working. So how you will know that what is the perspective of anyone, and then what is the perspective from my side? If my perspective and your perspective are same, there is no conflict, right? There is no right, there is no wrong. My perspective is different, yours is different, there will be a conflict. You will say something, I will say something. So, to understand the perspective, you have to understand who is the person. If he is in the work, what is his position? If he is not in work, your family, okay, who is he related to you? Okay, then what he is doing, what he have done, these are all perspective. This is what make a perspective. A person who is, say for example, a professor in a university, you will have he and my perspective and his perspective may not be same because of his experience, because of his field of work, because of his own intelligence. His perspective can be different, my perspective can be different. So you can only understand the feelings if you understand the moment and your reaction, how you react to that. Then you have to also understand it is not just emotion, not just your reaction. There is an external force, which is the conflict. A second person who have the same thing, he have emotion and he is in the moment. Those two moments may not be same. Those two feelings, reactions may not be the same. So, understanding what is the reaction, what is the emotion behind, what is the perspective of that person, that will help you to understand, okay, what I have to do. Okay? Then, emotional awareness to guide thinking and actions. That's what you do. Once you understand, then you take a proper action. Okay? Before you people came, I gave an example. For example, this is 0 and this is very angry or very happy. And then after 0, there is very sad. So the main idea, you have to come on the 0 scale. Meaning, you have to be calm. Should not be very angry, very happy, should not be very sad, very disturbed. No, you have to be somewhere in the middle. That's what you teach or train your brain to work like. Okay, it cannot be done in a day. Cannot be. Okay, this is something which is a routine. And once you get into the routine, automatically it will help you. Next time it will be more easier. And next time, maybe you will not feel it. Right? So, the training to your brain by using which information? What is the emotion? What is the moment? What is the perspective of others? How they think? How they react? This is something which is guiding you. Okay? The main 5 components of emotional intelligence. Number 1, self-awareness. As I told you, you have to be aware where you are. You're on 5, 0 or -5. Where are you? Self-regulation. Then you have to start managing your reactions. Okay? Initially, yes, of course, it will not be the same because you don't have those information in your mind. Now you have, for example, now you will act accordingly. So you have to manage. Okay? A very important part, self-regulation is also based on the reaction of the second person. Okay? Sometimes you have to be on a little high note because you know it is a requirement of the moment, and that person will not be able to understand until unless you are on that specific moment. Okay, self-regulation is for your internal control, but yes, of course, in self-regulation you have to understand what are you doing. Take a best example. If a person is very angry and you are dealing with him, he could be a user, could be a customer, could be your manager, could be your colleague. So, if he is very angry, he is in 5 and you want to put him down to 0. For example, you are trying to regulate yourself also, and also the way you react should have a good result. My reaction should not change the chain reaction, should not go from 5 to 50. That's not my idea, right? So in that scenario, you have to be careful in self-regulation what you are doing. So for example, if the person is angry, if I tell him a joke, what will happen? Huh? He will laugh? No, he will not laugh. He will feel that you are making a joke of it. Right? Meaning what I'm doing, I'm trying from 5 to directly jump to 0. No, that's not possible. Self-regulation, it works for me, not for others. So that's why when you have a conflict, it's not only one person, it has to be the second person, and you have to also aware of his understanding, his perspective. Good? So, in self-regulation, the practical approach will be, if he's on 5, I will go on 3. So I can match a little bit. So you understand, okay, no. If he's in 3, I should come to 3. I should come to 2. So self-regulation is based on your understanding, your intelligence of that specific happening, what is actually happening in that moment. Okay? Then comes motivation. It's staying positive and driven. Okay? Now staying positive can be 2 things. This is not my problem. This is also staying positive, but it has an issue because you're not driven. It's not your issue. No, it means you're not managing it properly. Something was on -5 or +5, you directly come to 0 and then you're out of the picture. No, cannot be like this. At least not in the work. If there is a problem, I have to resolve that problem because it is also becoming my problem. Okay, if we are dealing with customers, we are dealing with users, we are dealing with people who we are giving services to, we have to be very careful. We cannot say no, it's not my problem, you deal with it. No, it's not like that. When you are in a service providing industry or a department, it is your duty to make sure that the person is understanding from the point of view of what is correct, not what he's thinking is correct, what is correct. So in that scenario, I don't have to be shouting, I don't have to be very tough on him. No, I have to understand his perspective. He's a user, his mouse is not working. First thing, I should check, okay, what is the problem? Is the connectivity problem? Is the power problem? Right? So all these things I have to understand from the perspective of him. And why he is angry? For example, I don't know. He need to submit a report after 5 minutes. I didn't know. He's already in the pressure. I didn't know. Because he's not sharing this information to me. He's just saying that I'm very upset and this thing is not working. I have to be very early. I have to do something very quickly. So we have to be staying positive, but also we have to be driven. Okay? As I give you example, staying positive, you said, okay, it's not my problem. No, it is my problem. This is number 1. Driven then you have to make sure that this get resolved. If he's making a mistake, you have to identify his mistake. He will not identify. He will not identify because he is already doing it and repeating the same process again and again. It means he didn't understand. He didn't know what he's doing wrong. So we have to make sure that yes, I have to drive internally from my side to make sure that okay, what is happening. That's understanding of the situation is very important so that you can help him. Okay, you are doing this step wrong. Do it correct and everything will be correct. Similarly, empathy. We have to make sure that we understand the emotions of the others. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, whatever you are feeling is not my problem. I have my own feeling. Right? Normally, what happens if this person is on the road? There is a person on the road and he's shouting, for example, and I'm just passing by. In this situation, it's not emotionally connected to me, number one. I don't have any conflict, number two. I will go. It's not my problem. He has something, he's expressing, let him. But if in the work environment, where people are working with you, where colleagues are working with you, this is important. We have to understand the emotions of others to make sure that, okay, what is triggered this behavior? Okay. There must be something he's thinking. That's why it is reacting or he's showing that action. So I have to understand what is his emotion. Then from there, understanding of emotion, then I can, okay, now I can try to explain to him, try to, give my support to him so that the things can come down. Okay? Building effective relationships, that's also very important as a part of the social skills. Okay? Social skills itself is a very big topic. Okay? But to understand, in the work environment, it is very important that we should have good understanding with each other. Okay? Now, I will give you a very simple example. In the kitchen, for example, you have knife, okay, and you have also a hammer to put down the meat, right? And then you have stuff to make something hot. Now, these are all three things. One thing cuts, second thing puts something down, third burns. But everything is in one place to perform a duty. Remove the knife, it will be very difficult for you to work in the kitchen. Knife is important. Fire, without fire you cannot cook. In a team, it is like that. Someone is fire, someone is knife, someone is hammer, okay, someone is dough. So the main idea is once we start to understand, then it becomes easy for us to collaborate. If something is required to be cut, I will not say go and burn. No, burning is not the solution. It means the team member who is knife can work on that very effectively because his internal properties, his emotions, his intelligence is on that direction, on a more better than others. Come back to the office, someone is showing that my email is hacked. Okay. First thing we have to make sure the infrastructure guys will check. Everything is okay, you are connected to the correct network, are you connected with any other wrong network, what is happening, this is what you understand. Second comes cyber security. Then you will say, okay, internally I'm fine, what happens from outside? So, this way, a team of multiple skills can work together to resolve or perform a job. Okay? And it's very important that I should never ask fire to become knife. Not possible. Maybe he can try. I should not ask a hammer to become fire. No. Everyone have their own properties. Everyone have their own understandings, work experience, skills, right? So that is how it is. So social skills become very important when you are working in social environments like team or as a group or a project. Then you have to make sure that everything is connected properly. Okay. So understanding of the relationship is very important. How you can build relationship. Okay. This relationship means from the work point of view, how good are you merged together to work like a team. Okay. So if you follow all the top, then it will help you to become a team. Good. Any questions so far? Good. So why it is matter? You all know. It improves our teamwork, it improves our communication. Okay? So teamwork is important and it is based on communication. If the communication is wrong, the communication is not good. If it is weak, it will start affecting the teamwork because they are together. One supports the other. Okay? Similarly, if you have a very good teamwork, you start to work very good, then automatically you will have good communication. Meaning you can achieve good teamwork through communication or you can achieve good communication through teamwork. So they are together. Then we have to make sure that we reduce the stress and misunderstanding. Okay. Now, one of the most important and biggest question, what is the stress? How you define stress?
Better on you.
Okay.
Yeah. Exhaust.
Okay. What is stress? How you will define what is stress? Okay. Stress is a feeling when you are trying to do something and it's not done. This is stress. Okay. For example, I'm trying to make a dish and it is not cooked properly. I will be in the stress because I put up all my efforts and it didn't work. So this is stress. How we can manage the stress is if we are doing the process step by step by understanding and learning, then stress can be removed. Okay, that is one way. Second, if there is something which I am sure that I will not be able to do, I should hand it over to the person who can. That's how you manage your stress. Okay? I'm trying to do something, it's not happening. I tried everything, it doesn't work. No problem. We have other team members, we have other teams. Engage with them. Try to understand with them, ask them to come and sit with you and resolve it. So, first of all, they are resolving, now you are removing your stress. First, second, you are learning. Next time this happens, you can resolve it by yourself. Okay? So, stress is something which is like a brake. When you're moving, on one foot you are pressing to move and the second you are pressing to stop. This is stress. And you are not doing anything, nothing is achieved, and you are putting all your efforts. So this is what the stress look like. To resolve that, best way, go through with your steps. What are you doing? Are you doing any step wrong? Are you skipping any step? Then you will understand, okay, yes, now I got it, I can do it and resolve it. Or You already did that and you don't know some step which is skipped. Take a help from your colleague. He knows because he already performed that. He can guide you. You're doing 1, 2, 3, you've skipped the 4. This is important. Then you can go to 5. Okay? And we have to make sure that our emotion intelligence builds stronger relationships with teams and the clients. Okay? For us as an IT department, every single user is our customer. Every user is using computer, laptop, email, anything. He is our customer. So we have to make sure that yes, he is in good position to work. Okay, because if from my side something is not supported, he will become in distress. Now he don't know what to do. For example, mouse is not working, he don't have any idea. He doesn't know what is mouse, how it works, how the connectivity works, what need to be checked for the mouse to work, right? He will be in the stress. Same situation. So if we are going and helping him, then at the same time, our intention should be to give him like a guidance and training. Okay? Why? For example, there is a person who doesn't have anything to eat. I have 2 choices. I can give him a fish or I can teach him how to fish. So, 2 solutions. If I give him fish, he's happy. But will it come again the same problem? Yes, for sure, because you don't know how to resolve that. So, our concern should be that okay, if he is in the capacity of learning, teach. Do this, and you will resolve your problem. Okay? In organizations, it is always felt that if I am teaching something to someone, I am giving away something from my side. Yes, you are giving away. That is right. You are giving something from your experience to someone. You are giving him training, you are teaching him. But this doesn't mean that it's been lost with you. No, still with you. You just copy and paste. But the original is still with you. So in organizations, it's very important that we should, from the point of view of team building, team understanding, and performing better, is we should have an approach of guidance, teaching, whether to a colleague or a user, whoever may be. Okay? It can be a client, it can be a customer, it can be a user, it can be my colleague, doesn't matter. If I'm giving away something, it's not lost to me, it's increased, it's multiplied. Good? Then we have to make sure that we adapt to changing work environments. Now, work environment is a very tough situation where things will not and never be the same. Again and again. For example, repeating days, you will not have the same problem. No, you'll have new problem. Something you already resolved, a third thing came. This is normal. This is our work. This is how we do. So we have to adapt. In adapting, again, go through the same steps. Learning, understanding, situation, people, emotions. Okay, all that, once we again apply the same formulas, then we adapt. Okay, so internally in our brain, we have to make sure that all these things are with me and I have a process. Okay, whenever something happens, I have a process. I will do this 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will be less conflict and it will not have any emotional impact to others, or not, even not to me. Okay, because my emotions, my understanding, my feelings are also important. At the same time, yes, others also are important in the same way. Okay? Now, conflict, we all know what is a conflict. So, it's written here, conflict is a natural part of professional life. I would say conflict is a natural part of life. You have life and you have more than one person in one place, you will have conflict. Okay? Because two people doesn't think the same, doesn't react the same, and does not have the same intelligence. Right? Now, it often arises due to communication gaps and role overlaps. This is something that we have to make sure that we avoid. We have to make sure that our communications are clear. Okay? Now, what is the meaning of communication clear? For example, if I receive a task from a manager and it is not clear, I need to make sure that I understand it correctly. What is required of me to do, what is the result expected, and how soon. If anything is missed, all of the three, any of the three is missed, it will be a problem. It will become a stress. If I'm not aware of the deadline, it's a problem. I thought maybe to be done tomorrow, no, it was to be done today. So it means I have to make sure that the deadline or the time to complete, I should know. What to be completed? Yes, this is the result, I have to see. If this result is not achieved, my work is not done, I have to make sure that I reach to that result. Okay? So communication is very important, and that's the best way to resolve any type of conflict. Why? If a manager is speaking to, say for example, his team member, and he explains something to do, and the employee or the team member, he didn't understand. If this is the situation, first thing, you have to make sure that you understand what manager is saying. This is the process of communication. He is thinking something else, you are thinking something else, the result will be something else. Right? So, communication is a key. And this is something which is every employee or every person should build himself. Okay? This is not something which is required in the work, no, it is required everywhere. Communication is very important, everywhere. Even with your family, brother, sister, father, mother, communication is everywhere. Right? Second part, role overlap. That is very important that we have to understand. In the teamwork, there has to be specific roles defined. This role can switch in different situations, yes, but still it has to be defined. Okay, if it is defined, then every team member knows what they are doing. Right? Take an example. I need to prepare a CPU. I have one team member who's going to put everything inside the box. This is one. His role is that. He will finish one box and he will move to the second box. The role is clear. He knows what to do. Second person, he will connect to the system, install the operating systems, drivers, everything. When the conflict will happen, if the person who's supposed to make only the box of the CPU think, no, I have to also finish the operating system. That's the overlap of the role. Because he's also doing the same thing which his other person is doing. Right? So, if in a specific situation roles are defined that you have to do this, okay, then you have to perform the same steps. Should not, after completing the box, no, I should not go and connect and start the operating system. No. I should give this to the second person. This is your job. This is your role. Okay. Unless, yes, there is some situation where we feel once all the CPUs are done, the person who are doing the CPU will also start the operating system. Okay, yes, but this role is also defined. You have to make sure when the project time starts, everybody know what is their role. Who's supposed to do what? Who's responsible for what? Good? Now, we see all the bad things about conflict, but there are good things of conflict. If there is no conflict, we'll not have electricity. Why? Edison made a different type of electricity which is going to use in the industry. Tesla made another type of electricity which is going to be used in home. If Tesla thought, no, Edison is doing good, khalas, I don't have to worry, I don't have any conflict, then it means we didn't have that light at this moment in our homes, in our offices. So conflict is important as long as it is managed and it is respected. Okay? This conflict can become a war for nations, and this conflict can be a new product launch for a company. Right? So conflict is itself by its nature, it's not a bad thing. It's from Allah Ta'ala. This is not created by us, this is created by Allah Ta'ala. Right? Allah has created this conflict in ourselves. Because we are different, we are not same. We are not copy paste. Every single person think and act, understands differently. That's why you have so many things that you see around the world. So conflict itself is not a bad thing unless it doesn't start to have bad impact. If it is a bad impact, this is a bad conflict, not a healthy conflict. Okay? Good? Now, we should know that where it is coming from so that we can be able to minimize or remove. Okay? So, miscommunication, unclear instructions make conflict. Right? Same example. Manager is trying to say something to be achieved by a team member, and team member doesn't understand. So conflict. Through communication, this can be solved. Right? Differing good goals or priorities. We have to make sure that our priority are not different; they are same. Our priority, for example, IT department. Priority is, what is the priority for IT department?
Solve issues, minimize the issues.
Good.
Improving.
These are all priorities, and these should be shared by everyone, every team member. Right? So, if we share the same concept, same priority, then we are on the same page. Right? So, removing the conflict, we have to make sure that our goals, priorities are same. Okay? And if you feel that I didn't understand my goal, I didn't understand why this is prioritized, not that, communication. Discuss that. Okay? This is the step of a conflict. It can become a bad conflict or it can become a good conflict. Good conflict means something maybe the manager forgets to update you, but it was there. It was supposed to be in the steps of work. So your conflict improves the whole process. Okay, so communication in this situation will automatically give you a good result overall. Okay. Now, personality or work style differences. This is very normal. Every single person who is working will have a different style of working. Okay? They will have a different understanding and approach, right? So the main idea that it should work together. Okay, just like I told you, in the kitchen, has to be a hammer, has to be a knife, has to fire. All fire, no kitchen. All knife, no kitchen. Right? So that's why if there are differences, those differences should merge, work together, and then perform something that helps. Good? Okay. One of the main source is stress, pressure, or unclear responsibilities. This is very important. Okay. Every team member should understand what is my role, my responsibility. Okay, what I'm supposed to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are my roles, my responsibilities. It may be same for another team member. It's possible. Two people are working on the same goals, same requirements, but this has to be known. That's what make the conflict, the bad conflict, down. Because I know what I have to do. Okay? Clear? Yeah. Now, there are different ways of resolution of the conflict. Avoiding, ignoring or withdrawing from the conflict. Okay? This can work if a specific task is not required or not a must required for you. Then you can. Okay? But in normal situations, no. You cannot ignore. Should not ignore. Okay? If, as I mentioned to you, emotions, which is say for example 5, 0 and -5, if you think that the other person 5, I'm not able to put it to 3 or 2, avoid. Okay. Why? Because the conflict of this understanding or perspective can also be resolved when the time passes. So it's not good that I have to be persistent. No, I should not be. Okay? If, for example, say a work is required, okay, and that work is being done in a different way that you don't understand or you don't think this is the right way, then there's a conflict. Okay? So, in that situation, if you feel that my impact, my steps, or my activity is making the emotion going from 5 to 6, I should be stopped because I'm not helping. Right? So, in that situation, I have to make sure that I ignore it for a time. Second is conflict resolution style competing. That you assert your position strongly. No, you have to do this because I'm saying it. That's one of the way of resolution. Okay? Sometimes the conflict gets resolved this way, most of the time, no. Okay? If, for example, a role or a project is given to a person, if it is not clear to him, there will be a conflict. There will be a problem. Right? Because the person will not be able to perform that, he will become stressed, and there will be a conflict. So, in that situation, we have to make sure that what is required, that is where the intelligence comes. So, your understanding, your intelligence, this is the way to apply your intelligence. You have to make sure that yes, whatever I'm doing is not increasing the conflict. No, it should decrease the conflict. Okay. Now, accommodating, like prioritizing relationship over winning. This is also one way of conflict. How you resolve the conflict. Meaning, okay, I know, for example, my employee or my team member is not understanding and he's saying wrong. Doesn't matter. I will accommodate. Why? As I told you, there is a factor of time. Right? How you will understand the factor of time? a person, say for example a manager, he have an experience of 10 years, and the team member, he have the total number of experience 2 years. Do you think both of the perspectives will be same? No, it's not possible. He learned something in 10 years. It means you have to have some time to reach there. So this is very natural. We have to accept that. I should accept that if I don't know something, I should accept, and yes, I should start to learn. How he learned, okay, I will also learn. If he knows to do this, okay, I can also. Right? So, accommodating, you have to make sure that the team building mechanism is not disturbed. Because the conflict, what happens most of the time, conflict goes out of the control, and then there is no way it can be resolved. Right? The same way as I told you that if it is on 5 and if it becomes 50, out of the hand. So we have to make sure that we make a prioritizing of our team as a team action. If the project is being done by the team, all the team members, they have to make sure the goal is achieved. Okay, my prioritization is goal. How I make sure that this problem is resolved. Okay. Now, next one, compromising. This is also one part in which you find a middle ground. There is a conflict. Your one team member is saying A, the team member B, the other team member saying Z. Okay, meet somewhere in between. This is the compromising. Means from his end, he will try to compromise and think something else to come too close, so that the both people who have a conflict can come close. Good. If compromising is not done, what happens? Conflict cannot be resolved. Conflict can increase, cannot resolve. Why? The reason is, again, this is based on time. If the time is too much for the conflict, yes, the conflict is increasing. We didn't know, but it is increasing because time is passing. So, using our emotional intelligence, we have to make sure that how we can resolve, minimize the conflict. Okay? I'll give you the example. Two chefs are making the same dish together. Okay? They put all their steps, they put all the ingredients, cooking, everything is done. And at the end, the first cook says, I think it's not very tasty. Okay. The second one says, okay, I understand your point of view, but in my understanding, it's good. So what we are doing, we are actually compromising. The both of the chefs, they are compromising to understand. This one is saying, no, it's not good. If it is not good, do we have too much time to make it again? No, we don't have. So whatever is done, if it is reaching to near the goal, okay. If it is not reaching to the goal, it means both have taken the wrong steps. That's why it is not completed or not correct. Right? So the result of the actions, or the, say for example, an outcome of a project may not be accepted by both of the team members, but yes, result is there. Something which is supposed to be done was done. To what degree it is very good, to what degree is very bad, is different thing. Okay? This is something which is also a learning curve. This is how you learn. You make things, you got to a specific process, you apply the steps, and at the end you get a result. If you're not happy, go back, try to get more better steps. Right? Then collaborating. We have to work together for a win-win outcome. Okay? I'm not very happy with the outcome, but yes, it's okay. Okay? But if one person or the team member, he have, from his point of view perspective, a very bad result, it is a problem. Because now he shifted from 0 to 5. It's not in the same zone. So when you are doing work together, the work has to be on a specific way as the result is acceptable. Okay? Always there will be a room of improvement. There is always, we cannot say that no, I have done this best. No. Apple have done it best. There's 16, now they have 17. Next year they will have 18. Why? They are not happy with 16? No. They say this is very good. This is the best. But what happens? Next year they improve. So this is what the collaboration and reducing of the conflict gives you. When you reduce the conflict, then it gives you more better results. Okay? This is the strategy for how you will make sure that the conflict is reduced or resolved. Okay? So listen actively and calmly. Okay? Now, in communication, in marketing, we learned that when I was doing my MBA. There is a listening activity where you understand. This is one. Then there is a second listening activity where you plan to reply. When you listen to something, you either understand it or you avoid the understanding and you start to prepare your reply. So we should not listen for reply, no. Meaning the communication is not correct. If somebody is saying something, the other person is not understanding, he's understanding something else. So it's very important that we have to be listening actively. This is where you will understand the perspective of the person in front of you. Then you will understand what he's saying. If he's saying something and I'm already saying, no, when he says this, I will say this. No, it's wrong. This is, when you are making the listening, you are making a listening of reply. No, it's not good. It's not good for communication. And it will increase the conflict, not decrease it. Right? And you have to be calm. Always you have to be calm. Why? Because learning always happens when you have an active mind. Active mind, it doesn't mean that it has to be on very angry or very happy or no, very sad. It has to be calm. Then only you will understand. You will actually, it's a process of absorbing. How you absorb. Before you learn something, you start absorbing. And when it is clicked here, you learn. Right? Now, make sure that focus is always on the issue, not the person. Very important. I can make my conflict go very big if I start processing on the person. From the person point of view, remember what we discussed before, perspective. You have to understand his perspective. His perspective for this specific task can be different. may not match with me, right? But we have to make sure that the whole resolution of the conflict is based on the issue. Okay? Now, use empathy to understand others' viewpoint. The same thing we discussed before. We have to make sure that we understand what is the feeling of the other person, what he is trying to convey to us or to me. If we understand that, then it will be easy for me to understand, okay, how we can reduce the conflict. Now, maintain open and respectful communication. We have to make sure that our communication is open. If it is related to task, I should not forget or hide anything in the communication. No. Because incomplete communication is like no communication. There's no communication. Because it's not complete. So we have to make sure that it is open and it has to be respectful. We have to make sure that I respect you, respect me. Because the reason is we are here for a specific job. We are here for a specific task. We have a goal. If I have goal in my eyes, I will not have person in my eyes. No. Because my eyes is on goal. Sorry? No. How emotional intelligence will help us? Self-awareness help you control emotional reaction. Same thing what we discussed before. Your understanding of your emotions will help you self-aware. Okay? Empathy helps you to see the situation from others' eyes. Okay? Whether it's a user, whether it's a team member, manager, whoever. We have to make sure that we see from the perspective from his side. Okay? It's not always easy. Remember, it's not something that you can do it very quickly. No, this is something that you learn. Okay, so it is not very easy for you to see the situation from other eyes. No, it's very difficult. It's not easy. Okay, it's a talent. It's a skill that you can slowly learn and build. Okay, for example, a user is saying, I have a problem in Excel. If I know Excel very well, then I can understand his problem and resolve it. Let's say I don't have any information about or very detailed information about Excel. Then what will happen? The problem will not be resolved. So if I have to resolve it, what I have to do? I have to start working on my skills for Excel. Right? Because I have to be on his shoes. I has to know that what he is doing. Then only I can understand, go through the process, go through the steps, then I will know, okay, this is where he got stuck. And it can be resolved like this. Okay? Self-regulation keeps discussion professional and calm. So, we have to self-regulate our emotions. That is very important, as I told you. The same scale I told you, 0 to 5 and -5, you have to make sure that you are near to the 0. You have to regulate yourself. Okay? Any type of situation, any type of emergency, any type of issue, disaster, if you are losing yourself, then you are not going to resolve. Because you are not yourself, not in 0. You are not calm. You are already in -5. It means the situation will go -5. Right? Now, social skills help rebuild trust after disagreement. This is what is the main understanding of goal. We do have disagreement, but yes, we made a trust for each other to perform a goal, to reach to a goal, to perform a specific result. When we do this together, then we understand, yes, it is possible. Even I don't agree with him, but yes, me and him can perform something. And we can do a problem resolution. Okay? Now, practical scenarios: team member missing deadlines, discuss, not blame. If you feel that the team member is missing the deadlines or missing the task result, no need to blame. Discuss what is the problem. Find out how I can help you resolve this problem, so that next time you will be in a good understanding to resolve by yourself. Disagreement on project direction: listen and find common ground. If performing a project, two team members have two ideas, no problem. Both of them should sit together and understand. If you do this, this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. So, disagreement can decrease. If I take something from your points and you take something from my points, it's done. No conflict. Right? Frustration with feedback: reflect before reading. This is what I give you the example. If you are angry, never reply to the email. This is the step. Because when you are in a different zone of your emotional intelligence, a different result will come. So you have to make sure that yes, all my emotions are self-aware and also in check. Okay, I should be in a good zone before I start reacting, even before I reply to email or reply to a team member, reply to anyone. Okay, I have to make sure that yes, I'm in the right zone. Okay. Now, these are some examples. For example, you are overreacting. This is a sentence. I see this really matters to you. One answer, you are overreacting, and this second answer, no, I see this, it really matters to you. Meanings are same, right? Meanings are same, but the choice of the words will make the difference. Similarly, that never happened. Okay, I may remember it differently, but I understand your point. Okay, again, if that never happened, have a different reaction. Of course, it will have a different reaction, because this sentence is going to increase the conflict, not decrease. But even it's a very simple sentence, but yes, when you are working together, when you are working in a team, when you are working in a department, this happens. So we have to make sure that the choice of our words are good, because we have to make sure our emotions and also the second person emotions. Okay, so you are too sensitive. So this is the wrong sentence. It has to be, no, your feelings are valid. Yes, you feel something. Yes, for sure, this is your feeling. You cannot deny. Same thing, someone is very happy, I cannot ask him, no, go angry. No, you will not be angry. You have a feeling. You always imagine things. No, let's talk about what you experienced. Okay? In miscommunications, this always happens. If you leave a gap of communication, some other thing will fill in, and that may not be good. Right? So, if you give the clear instructions, clear understanding, whether from a manager to a team member or employee to the users, same. This works both ways, all the ways. Okay. So we have to see that again. The example that you are always imagining things. No, this is the wrong way of saying that, because the person is not an imagination, is not a writer, is not writing something to imagine and write. No. So the correct way would be, let's talk about what you experience, so that yes, I understand from your viewpoint. This is how you resolve. So you are crazy for thinking that. This is a sentence. The right sentence? No. I respect how you feel, even I don't fully agree. I may not have to agree with you, but yes, I understand your feeling. Good? So, we have to make sure that we encourage open communication. Anything comes in your work or in your operations, your projects, your activities, anything is required, communicate. Okay? Because most of the time what happens is we think that we can resolve by our own, but there is a limit because we are not experienced this before, so it means I may not be able to solve that by myself. So I should take a help who have experience of that situation. Right? Create a culture of mutual respect. We have to make sure that yes, everyone respects with each other. Okay, it doesn't matter of the role or position. No, it has to be always a mutual respect. Okay, I will give more attentive respect to my manager. Yes, but it doesn't matter that my other team members will not have respect. No, they also have respect. Okay, respect is not one way or from one person to another person or position to position. No, respect is everywhere. It has to be followed everywhere. Right? Then we have to also celebrate team achievements. If we achieve, we should celebrate. Okay? In our department, we are not doing it most of the time. We do, we complete, and by the time we think of celebration, there is a new project waiting for us. It happens. It's normal. But yes, we should have some activities, some sort of celebration that we should do. Okay? Now, provide regular feedback and coaching. Okay, now these are two parts. Feedback, coaching. Good? Team members, feedback to the manager. From the manager point of view, training and coaching. Okay? So, when we have an open communication, anything which is not understood, not clear, not working, no problem. Communicate. If you communicate, you will find a solution. Okay? Now, what should be our takeaway? Is emotional intelligence is essential for professional growth and teamwork. Before even becoming a team, we are a person. We are self-aware person. So it is a self-growth. When we grow, automatically team grows. Right? Now, conflict can be healthy when managed properly. Conflict are not a bad thing until it becomes a problem. Conflict means I have one idea and you have a second. Okay, your idea can be more better, or we can combine the two ideas to have a better result. Okay. So in this point, you may have seen most of the people saying think out of the box. No, you have to think out of the box. Okay, not every solution is already available. No, there can be a better solution. Okay, so to understand the better solution, go back and check what you have to understand that part. If you understand it more better way, then you have more ways to resolve. This can be resolved by this, this can be resolved by this, this can be resolved by this. So when you are thinking out of the box, not you thinking that I'm not restricted to one place, I'm not restricted to one role, not restricted to one activity. No. Think what can be done, how it can be achieved, how it can be resolved, how it can help. Okay? So emotional control, empathy and communications are key skills. These are very important skills for everyone to grow. Okay? How you will define a growth? Let's see. How you will define a growth? What is growth? is growth? Growth is I am doing and learning better than yesterday. This is growth. Growth is I didn't know to do this thing yesterday, but I know today. This is growth. Okay? Growth is not Burj Khalifa. No. Growth is simple steps. You're learning, you're understanding. Today you understand something better. You research on it more. Tomorrow you understand better, more better. Yesterday your skills was, okay, I can do this. Today I have more skill, I can do 1 and 2. This is the growth. Okay, so once you are in the process of self growth, you are improving yourself professionally and before personally. Because person comes first everywhere. If the person is not good, professional will not come good. Right? If a person, personality or personal understanding, personal growth is good, it will reflect automatically. Okay? So emotional control, empathy and communications are the main skills. Okay? So practice these daily to grow as a professional. How you can make that as an action plan? Individually, like reflect on your emotional triggers, see that what triggers me. When this happens, I become angry. When this happens, I become sad. So this is, you learn what triggers, and you have to remember that these are the triggers that are out of your control. You cannot control, right? You cannot control anything that somebody else is doing. No, this is his action. You cannot control his action, right? But what you can do on his action, how I reply, how I react. This is my self-managing, self-awareness of my emotion. Okay, so triggers will be always there. Okay, you go out of the meeting room, you will find a trigger. Right? So triggers are everywhere. But the main idea, how you are going to manage your emotions intelligently to avoid that, to resolve that, to accommodate that, any steps that you want. Okay? Now, practice empathy during team interactions. When you are interacting with each other, be empathetic. You have to understand if somebody is doing something, it is not being done correctly and he feels stressed, okay, how to resolve that. Okay, so when you are working as a team, it's very important to understand the emotions from all the sides. All the team members, what are their emotions. Okay. Resolve small conflicts early and calmly. If the conflict is there, don't wait, because tomorrow it will be conflict this much big. And if it is not checked, can go more. So the best way when this happens, stop from yourself, think on it, how we can resolve. Communication required, go communicate. My learning required, I will go and start learning. How can I improve that? Right? So we support each other to build a stronger IT culture. Okay, so as I discussed earlier, we are in the profession of providing services to the people related to information technology. So we have to make sure that our internal team culture is good. Okay, it has less conflicts, it has less bad conflicts, and good emotional intelligence. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can go ahead. and I will share this with you. This is a book called How to Influence People and Make Friends by Dale Carnegie. Okay, this book I read when I was maybe on 8th grade. From the beginning, I am very fond of reading. Okay, I read too many things, books, stories, like that. So when I was on 6th grade, I think 8th grade, I read this. It's very good and very helpful for your personal growth. Okay, it's a big book, not small. It has situational stories to teach you. It will give you actual situations, what happened, and how this writer reacted to it, how he emotionally, intelligently behaved like this. Okay? So I will provide this to you as a link. Okay? Download that, read it in your spare time. It's a good read. Okay? You will, inshallah, feel learning. You will feel that you have learned something, inshallah. Okay? Thank you. Okay, if you have any question, anything?
Thank you.
Good?
Yeah, it was clear, yeah.